Hey everybody, welcome to and almost finished. It's so close they're power washing out here, guys. Westside Collector Car Storage, 6804 South Centinela Avenue, right across the street from the Clippers practice facility. Where we are right now is a milestone in construction that is so important to me, the driveway. As we've talked about in my previous videos, the driveway, when you're dealing with sports cars, is like everything. It's one of the biggest problems in LA. And so I showed you the ramp angle to get downstairs, benchmarked to Corvette ZR1 there. Out in front, look at this driveway. Where Zach is standing right now, Zach, come over here so you can show exactly what I'm talking about. The width of my neighbor's driveway, this is my neighbor's driveway, is the width of the sidewalk, right? Street to the edge of the sidewalk, and that's a fixed height. Now, come look at my driveway. My driveway is well below, and I've drawn that angle back almost 10 feet past the gate. So my angle here is 1/4 of the LA standard, meaning the most buttery smooth driveway that you can imagine pulling in from the front. I am like so excited about this. This is like my LA dream right here. If we want to take it back, to early Smoking Tire, 2009, 2010, you remember my house in Redondo Beach where I had to haul the ramps out of the driveway to get my car out. And that wasn't the only house I lived in like that. The other house I lived in with the guys, the Playa house, had a crazy angle that I couldn't get that car in either. It's a mess. And so here, it's extremely important that we have this angle. And we'll have it in the back too. The back is gonna be perfectly flat. Not to mention this beast power gate. The three things that are really challenging about building in California: earthquake code, fire code, low impact development code, right? Low impact development, I've talked about before. It is this comically expensive system that we have to use to clean every drop of water on the property. Rainwater, storm water, not poop water, but sink water, everything. So this planter that runs the entire front of the building is filled with special layers of material designed to filter all that. And there's drains from the roof that come in here. This planter right here, there's another one right here. Also, same kind of thing. Special drains, special materials. Over there, another big planter, special drains, special materials. All the water is plumbed from the roof, the basement, the sumps, the drains, into all over the building, into these planters. It then is drained under my new sidewalk. Now, here's where we reached a problem, because normally what you do, we have 4 drains, and you can see them. That's a lie. They're covered in gravel. You can't see them. But there's 4 drains between here and the end of the building. Normally, you would just cut about a foot strip into the sidewalk, you'd lay your drain, you'd pave it, right? Normal. Except the sidewalk, which the city owns and the city built, is not up to 2020 code. Now, does the city need to get it up to code? No, because the city isn't the one that needs to cut a drain in it. I do. So the city says, well, you can cut your drains, but what you can't do is repair an out-of-code sidewalk. You have to bring the code up to, bring the sidewalk up to the code. So I want to show you something very silly. Come here, Zach. What is the code change, you might ask? Well, it's the angle towards the street. That's the code, right? Back in the day, they allowed 4%. Now, 2%. Why? So wheelchairs don't bank into the street. Swear to God. Okay? Now, why does that matter? Because we planned for a 4-degree sidewalk, and we had to have downhill drains under the sidewalk. Well, now if you change the angle of the sidewalk, the drains don't fit under the pavement anymore. So we had to re-engineer all the drains. But that's not the stupid part. The stupid part is where the city makes you blend your code sidewalk with your neighbor's out-of-code sidewalk. Code, no code. And look along the baseboard here. See the slope? So here's your 3 inches. Here it is. And then watch it go away as we blend the sidewalk into the out of code neighbor's sidewalk that nobody has to do anything at all about. Construction! Oh, look at this. Come adjust your ISO, my friends. The Cathedral Room is done, except for the floor. They're gonna polish the floor, so it's gonna be nice and shiny. But in here is where we have all of our firsts, right? The first indoor quad stacking system in Southern California, the first quad stacking system over a basement, the first quad stacking system to integrate fire sprinklers all the way up, the first quad stacking system to integrate battery tenders, and the most quads ever installed in a single room. Yeah. 18 Park Plus QP 1000 quads, and as you can see, the trays are in their raised position. So each tray is a full tray design, so no fluids can leak. Okay, they've been leveled out and they're locked out. So as you lower the lifts, you can lower, 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 lock, off the lock, lower, 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 lock, off the lock. So you can't accidentally crush a car using the lift. You can maliciously crush a car using a lift. I was warned that. It won't happen out of stupidity, but it might happen out of rage. And so that's something to watch out for. Like I said before, these lifts are special. This whole building is rated for a 12.0 earthquake, including the lifts. And in order to do that, we have special steel, special assembly and inspection and construction requirements, and the sprinklers and the catwalks and all this other crazy stuff. So this is what it looks like with them all up. The tenders aren't installed yet. Those are the last things that they're installing. They're going to see big reels on the floor in between them, which is real cool. One thing they've really been doing in here is security. So we've got cameras. There's 64 cameras in the building. They are all over the place. Once you enter the building with a car, you cannot hide from them. Every car is on camera. And so wiring all that and doing all the conduit for it and stuff is what they've been doing this past couple of weeks, as well as, if you look way up, you can see Wi-Fi hotspot, Wi-Fi routers, you can see motion detectors. And these are our finished lights and our solar tubes, which is really cool. It's very bright in here, but we've only got 2, 4, 6 lights on. The rest of it is daylight, which is very, very cool. Over here are big roll-ups. 24-foot roll-up door, and then double 10-foot, right? So this is our detail bay in here, right? With our beautiful red fire thing, whatever you call that. I had them paint it red because it looks badass. So the way this will work is your 24-foot roll-up door will stay closed all the time, keeping that room, the Cathedral Room, dust-free. All the air that comes in there will be coming through the air filters and then going out through our 36,000 CFM evac system, which if you look above me, we have evac system in here as well. So if you were running a car in just this room with all 3 doors closed, you'd be safe. You could actually do that. You could just run a car in this room, good. So that door stays closed. These doors can be opened for work or loading or unloading without having to worry about dust. You then just close that one, open that one, and boom. It's like a double door at the mall or something like that. Same exact concept. One of the other things I said we had to deal with, right? Structure, fire, and lid. I don't know how many fire sprinklers we have. It's 200 and something. I don't know how many it is. But I do know that these fire doors, these roll-up doors are 2-hour fire-rated doors, just like this entire white wall separating the studio and lounge from the main area. Fire is a big thing, so that's why we have a ridiculous 3,000 gallon per minute fire system here. But I'm so stoked about these lifts, though. They're just like, when you come in, I hope it shows on video, but when you come in and like, just, it's amazing. These are the hydraulic pumps. There's 3 of them. There's one here, there's one over there, there's one over there. Each one has a 20 horsepower hydraulic motor, right? We can only not because of our motor capacity, but because of our power capacity. I think in a previous video I talked about us only getting 400 amps. So we can only make one lift go up at a time, even though we have three motors, which sucks. But we're not a high volume facility, so it's not that big of a deal. In order to compensate for that a little bit, we went with a 20 horsepower motor instead of a 10 horsepower motor, so they do go up twice as fast, which is pretty good. Bathrooms. I chose the tile and I'm colorblind. In our main reception area, I think it looked kind of like this when the last time you were here, except that our elevator is completely finished, our Kone elevator. All of our doors are installed. This is actually what this ceiling will look like. This is the finished ceiling in here. We're not gonna have the tiles. The lights are hanging above the T-bars, and you see the works up there. Now, it's gonna be cleaned up a little bit with some of the wiring, but that is the finished ceiling. Over here is our coffee bar. I had it painted Porsche Dalmatian blue. That's sort of our color here at Westside. The logo is going to be on the floor in Dalmatian blue. And then we got this beautiful granite countertop that's got flecks of blue in it to match. And we've continued that theme in a couple of ways upstairs. So let's go upstairs. Up here is where things are really coming along. Check out the podcast studio. Totally soundproof. Soundproof doors, acoustic tiles in the ceiling, holes in the floor for the wiring of the podcast computer, data ports for the big 70-inch monitor up here, outlets and data are on the side when we need them. We're doing studio lights, and a spectacular view of the cars. Not for those watching the show, unfortunately, just for the people in the studio, but it's looking good. My office, also done, except for carpet and televisions, yay. And then down here, oh, check this out, the elevator. Above it, we had to buy these fire gates things. So if a fire alarm goes off, you get these roll down things like in half a second that come down and seal it off. Pretty cool. Good point, Zach. We'll figure that out. Don't know. I don't know how that works. I'm sure it works some kind of way. In here, the members' Cigar Lounge is basically done, except for carpet and TVs and furniture. Our bar top here has the same blue fleck in it that the downstairs bar has, so it's not overt blue in a room full of wood, but it does carry over a little bit. I love my professional chef sink, where you take those things off. We're gonna have a fridge down here, and then around the corner, these are beautiful. The wine and whiskey lockers, 18 of them, lockable. You could probably put about probably six bottles or so in each one. And then we're gonna have a humidor here, but that's not built in. Big 70 up here, and that's the spot. So, the lounge is coming together except for carpet, furniture, and TVs. The studio is done except for carpet, furniture, and TVs. Let's go look downstairs in the underground level where it is totally done. All right, the difference between downstairs now and downstairs before is that it's finished. That's right, the downstairs is completely finished, and this is my favorite part. We talked about these before, the shoring pylons that were left, we painted them black and we backlit them all the way around the facility for a really cool backlit glow. As you come down the ramp and you see them kind of opening up, it's just amazing. And you can see security cameras, motion detectors, security cameras, motion detectors, it's all over. So that's where we're at right now. All that's really left, carpet, televisions, furniture. We're going to connect our fire out back, repave the street, and then it's it. That's a certificate of occupancy. So if you have cars in Los Angeles and you go, oh my God, that is the place for me, find us. The link is below. Westside Collector Car Storage on Google Maps. You can find us. We just switched our website to wccs.com to make it nice and easy for everybody. And we'll have one more video for you when we're done. But thank you for putting up with my sweatiness today. The humidity is gnarly, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you later. And remember, always fight your tickets. Go to offtherecord.com/TST or use code TST10 on the Off the Record app.